Killian. No, mule, not you. Not you. Not yet. Hey, bud. Hey, bud. I do not want you. Sorry, buddy. Come on, Killian. So today is super exciting. It is my first time sitting on Killian. If you guys don't know Killian, he is my Mustang that I picked up in February. So I've had him for a good while, but he was injured and he had to be on stall rest and then pasture rest for a few months. So he's finally just now coming into work after probably like 3 or 4 months off of work. So he really hasn't had too much done with him. I gentled him, I got him halter broke, and did some little bits and pieces with him, and then everything fell apart and he kind of had to sit for a while. So I'm pretty excited to be doing this with him. He is a pretty chill, laid-back Mustang, and you'll also notice he's built very odd. He is technically my dream Mustang. I wanted a Palomino paint forever, and I picked him out off of a headshot, and then he showed up and his body looks like a Corgi or a Dachshund or something weird. He's pretty funky looking, but he's a really sweet, cool horse. So right here, I'm just doing some weird, funny looking desensitizing. I'm making sure he's going to be fine with movement, and he's pretty nervous, but when he tolerates it, I'm going to click and reward him with some alfalfa pellets. I've been incorporating positive reinforcement into a lot more of my training recently. Right there, he's a lot better about it. You know, he's not too sure, but he didn't get too tense, so I do like that now he's starting to think through it. A big thing with training horses, and especially with getting horses ready for a rider to get on, you want to make sure you do everything from both sides, and not even just prepping for a rider. Literally anything you do with the Mustang or a horse in training, you want to make sure that you do it from both sides. They think differently on each side of their brain, and something that they're fine with on one side can be completely terrifying on the other. So imagine you get on and a horse is fine with you on the left side of their body, and they turn their head to the right and they catch you in that right eye. You didn't desensitize them to it, so they get really freaked out. So I want to make sure I get him used to everything from his left side to his right side, and just make sure he's overall really comfortable with both. Killian's never had anyone do any mounting block work with him. He came to me wild and I just didn't get around to this. So I'm going to break down the process for him. I'm going to step up, rub on him, and reward him when he stays still. And when he backs up like that because he was uncomfortable, I'm just going to bring him back forward and do it again. And when he does it right, and he stays there and he thinks about it, I'm going to reward him and slowly build up to getting to the top of the block. I try to teach all of my horses to side pass to a rider on a mounting block. He just hasn't been to that point yet, so when he steps away or moves away like that, I'm not going to correct him from the mounting block. I'm going to have to step down and move his body back over. He just hasn't learned that fancy little trick yet to move his body over on his own, and he's just learning about this. So we're going to do baby steps. It's going to be a drawn out process. Break it down, show him what's good, show him what's not to be scared of, and reward him for his little bits of try. Now I'm at the point where I'm going to start leaning over his body and rubbing his body from the opposite side. So I'm leaning over and rubbing his left side from the right side. This is just some extra desensitizing. I'm not fully putting weight on his back by leaning over, but I'm just leaning over enough where he feels a bit of pressure. Like I said, I am completely breaking down this process for him. You're going to see me doing some weird stuff. Like now, we're moving forward. I've leaned over him a little bit. I'm going to start showing him my leg, rubbing my leg up and down on his body, stretching it out, putting my leg over his back, because the motion of getting on, you're swinging, you're like over them. So if I can break that down for him and show it to him now and get him comfortable with it, when I actually do go to get on him, it's not going to freak him out. So we are going to break that down. We're going to take our sweet time. We're not just getting to the point. We are taking baby steps, but there's nothing wrong with that. This is a personal horse of mine. There is no rush. There is no deadline. I can do whatever I want for however long. So I'm going to take that extra time to take baby steps. So now I'm going to go and do everything I did on the right side, on the left side, and we're really going to build up to getting on him since this is the side I will be mounting from. And I'm not going to just go right ahead and get on him or go and start where I left on the right side. I need to completely start over. So I'm going and leaning over him and rubbing on him because I do not want to skip any steps. I'd like to go over everything I did on the right side and the left side. I can't just leave any holes there. So I'm going to prep him for all of it. Right here is a good example of him getting nervous and tense but not reacting. When I started jumping on the block, he lifted his head up and you could see he got really worried, but his body stayed calm and collected, and I rewarded him for that because he didn't react. He thought it through. He got worried, but he kind of kept it together and he thought about the process instead of just blowing up. So right here is the second time that I go ahead and jump up and put all my body weight across him. He got nervous, but he didn't react yet again. He's really thinking everything through, which is really great. I'm going to do that again. Just hold it for a little bit, and I'm rubbing him on the other side of his body, which is what he went ahead and looked at. But he's doing really well. So here's my first time actually getting all the way up on him. I swing my leg over and I'm just going to push myself up. I'm doing a little bit of a back and forth to get him used to it. I know it all looks pretty funky, but it's just to help him out. And he's not completely thrilled about it, but he's thinking and he's staying there and he's being really good. So I'm going to rub on him, and I'm not going to stay on for too long. I'm going to slide right on off. And he wasn't even scared about me hopping down on that right side. So that was really good. So I'm just going to get up on him one more time. He's really being amazing, and all I wanted was for him to feel body weight on him and get some desensitizing to someone up there. And he turns his head to look at me, but he doesn't get freaked out, which is great. I know I've had a lot of horses recently that as soon as they look at me, they freak out and want to run, but he's just hanging out. And I'm only using a halter on him. I don't want to have anything on him really. I'm just trying to do this where it's close contact. You know, if anything were to happen, I'd probably just slide off and work through it. You know, I've done a lot of just getting on and full tack and getting to the point, and I wanted to do something a little bit different with him, and this is what I used to always do. Just get on with a halter, get on bareback, and just do some desensitizing. So he did really great. You know, he kept his cool, he stayed really calm, and you know, I couldn't have asked for that to go any better.